like, share, and subscribe for more great Angry Guy content. And turn on notifications to never miss another Angry Guy video ever again. Now let's begin.
The term single tax is trending in Japan. Why? Because starting in 2026, single people will basically have to pay a new tax. In this video, I'll explain what's going on with this so-called single tax and what it says about Japan today.
So, guys, this is not clickbait. Massive bachelor's tax, massive bachelor's tax targets single men. I mean, this is absolutely insane stuff. What's going on here? Men are being targeted with this massive bachelor's tax, and it's going to absolutely reshape the entire world. We have to watch out for ourselves, guys, because they are coming for us. Men who are choosing not to get married, not to have children, no longer to subsidize the state. Yeah, the state is like, okay, you think that you're going to get away just like that? No, we've got you. We've got you. Today's video comes from Japanese comedian Meshida. His channel will be linked to the description of the video so that you can go check him out and support him. Watch to the end of the video to fully understand the implications of this massive bachelor's tax that targets single men and what it's going to mean for the future going forward. Don't forget to follow us over on Rumble. Most of our content is now exclusively coming out on Rumble. So if you miss out on any content, it's because you're not following us on Rumble. It's linked in the description of the video. We'll go ahead and jump right into the video after a message from Angry's Crypto Academy. Guys, you see what's happening right now around the world as our economy is breaking down. People who left their money in the banks in China and in the stock market, they lost lots of money. This is the reason why you need to invest in crypto. Check out Angry's Crypto Academy. Learn how to protect your wealth with crypto. Buy, sell, trade, and invest like a pro. Discover the next millionaire making coins. Link in the description. Let's jump into the video.
What people are calling the single tax is officially the Child and Child Care Support Fund, starting in April 2026. Online, people are asking, why do single people have to pay too? It's basically a tax on being single. According to Japan's Children and Families Agency, here's how much people will have to pay. Some people say, I don't have kids because I don't have the money, and now you are taking more from me. It's like guys without girlfriends paying a monthly subscription for guys who do have girlfriends. Honestly, single people are the ones who need monthly support more. On top of that, single people already pay more tax than married people. Why? Because married couples get more income tax deductions than singles. Some experts even say that's already a kind of unofficial single tax. If Japan wants more kids, how about raising single people's income first? A big reason men cannot get married is because they don't earn money. Of course, that's not the reason, but still.
Meshida-san, shut the fuck up!
If you tax low-income single people, more of them will just stay single. This new Child and Child Care Support Fund might actually reduce the number of future children. In Japan, ever since modern society began, marriage and family were seen as the norm. The entire system was built around the idea that everyone should get married. Back in 1980, the lifetime single rate was shockingly low, just 2.6% for men and 4.45% for women. People who didn't get married back then were probably discriminated against, but maybe they were actually happier than the married ones. Since Japan's economy started growing down in the 19th, starting a family has become a luxury. That classic couple with 2 kids model is now only realistic for people who are financially well off. And even those people, once they get married, often lose their freedom and end up unhappy. Still, many people today believe that having a family is a normal thing to do. They think if you are not married, something is wrong with you. They'll try to push their own values onto you without even listening.
Now, to be very clear, This is something that we're going to continue seeing in many economies. And the reason why this is absolutely happening is because men are walking away from relationships, and men pay 80% of all taxes while women make 80% of all consumer purchases. The state is absolutely pissed off. It realizes that, their golden goose is gone, and they're not going to be able to make it anymore. So this tax is not actually designed to increase birth rates. It's designed to basically make up for the loss of income that the Japanese government is going to be experiencing in the coming decades, because they're not going to have taxpayers anymore. So they don't have the people. You don't have a future generation of taxpayers. That's why they're now letting in almost 1 million people a year, to my understanding, 1 million foreigners a year to fill the jobs in Japan that they can no longer fill, because they need those taxpayers. They need people to create wealth, and then they need those people to pay taxes on said wealth, so that the Japanese government will still have jobs, that these people in the state will actually be able to actually have money. Because if you don't have people, you don't have money. Japan is running out of people. So now, to make up for this, they're just going to put a single person tax on every single person. That's predominantly going to affect men, and is going to punish men heavily for being single. And it really is, it's really just there to make up for the losses, because they don't have enough people, they don't have enough workers anymore. So they're losing out on all of that tax revenue, and they're like, okay, well, we'll just basically tax single people even more, because we don't have money anymore. We don't really care. And we don't actually care about the fact that single people don't even have enough money to have kids anymore. We're not, there's just not enough people. So if there's not enough people, we're just going to tax the hell out of you, so that we can get more money and line our pockets with more money. That's my view on it. That's my take on it. Some people might disagree with that, but that's my opinion, and that's what I truly believe is happening here. And don't be surprised when these types of things begin happening in Western society, where they're like, we're going to put taxes on single people, because it's going to encourage people having families. Creating additional tax burdens on single people doesn't lead to creating more families. It actually disincentivizes it, because now these individuals have less money to actually use to get married. They'll have less money to put towards marriage. Obviously, the governments know this, but they're trying to mask it and say that it's actually done to help families, and blah 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 blah. When the reality is, on a national scale, it's basically just being done to help the state, because the state is not going to be able to continue operating and doing and make and living good lives. The people that control the state are not going to be able to continue living these good lives, and having a good time, if they don't do something along these lines. It's a sad and pathetic thing, but it's just a reality that we have to live with now. And again, guys, that's why I keep on telling you guys that they're coming for your money, and you need to learn how to protect your money. And the best way you can do that is with crypto. And you can learn how to protect your wealth with crypto. Buy, sell, trade, and invest like a pro over at Angry's Crypto Academy, and you'll discover the next millionaire making coins as well. The link is in the description of the video if you want to go and check that out. I mean, guys, it's been a long time coming, and we should have known that we were heading down this horrible path.
Once you are over 35 and still single, they stop discriminating. Instead, they just think you are weird. In my case, I'm 36 years old and single comedian, so no one even asks if I'm married anymore. It's kind of obvious that I'm not. We all know the global population is growing too fast, but single people aren't having kids. We are actually reducing the number of humans producing CO2. We are helping stop climate change, and we are helping solve the overpopulation problem. So instead of taxing single people over 35, we should be getting subsidized instead from the Bill Gates Foundation. Thank you very much for watching this video. ご覧いただきどうもありがとうございました。
I mean, guys, he was very comical about it. Comedians in Japan are so funny. I love them. But I mean, there's a lot of interesting points being made here. We were told that, things that there's too many people, blah, 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 blah. So if there's too many people, you should be rewarded for not having kids. Do you not guys not notice that even though the state basically says that, oh my gosh, society says we need to worry about people having too many kids, then they turn around and then they punish you for not having enough kids or not having any kids at all, because at the end of the day it's all about the bread, it's all about the money, and it's this is where we are going. And of course women themselves, they will find a way, they will try to find a way to get around this by rushing off and having, having Chad and Tyrone's baby and then hoping that the state will subsidize it. But if that doesn't happen, then they're screwed. At the end of the day, the only people that are going to keep the world going are going to be decent men, good men who work hard, love Jesus, and and that's really how it is. But a lot of these men are walking away from society, choosing not to work anymore, and this is something the state is not picking up on. They don't seem to comprehend that if you make it so miserable for single people, to if you make it so miserable for single people, you know, that they're just going to stop working. They're going to say, okay, the average man doesn't need much to survive. The average man can live happily in a shoebox at the side of the road. Japan is a very perfect example of this, where you can actually still find affordable housing in Japan, and it is home of the hikikomori. What is the hikikomori? The hikikomori is a person, is basically a NEET, a person not in education, employment, or training. They are shut-ins. They don't really leave their house very often, their homes very often. They don't really have too many friends, or if they do, it's usually online. And this is something that's been going on since I think like the early 2000s or the 90s, even the hikikomoris. Probably longer than that, but in terms of the online culture that developed around it, it was very prominent, I guess, in like the towards like the later 90s and to early 2000s, and it's still very popular today and even expanding. But this is the society that we now have. So they're messing around over in Japan, thinking that we're just going to punish people if they don't have kids, and that's it. What they don't comprehend is that these people will just simply walk away from society. They will downsize. They will live very, very happily and very comfortably in their one bedroom, one room apartments, essentially studios, because these homes are very small in Japan. You have very small homes, so these people can essentially downsize their expenses, work some very minimal jobs, and as long as you have some savings, you know, these people love rice. They know how to prepare their own food. Japanese meals can be very, very lovely, and they can make very nice meals with some eggs, with some eggs and rice, eggs, rice, and veggies. I know this. This is how Japanese people roll. And it's not even just Japanese people, but people in general, American people as well. Men don't need much to survive. A lot of men are more than happy to scramble some eggs and drink some beer, and they're happy. There's a lot of dudes who'll make their own alcohol. It's not a game. That's the difference between men and women. As men, we have the ability to transform the world around us. For example, guys, not too long ago, the what happened, the faucet in the bathroom basically broke, and it took me a couple of hours, and I just basically did, because I do not do carpentry or anything like that, and it took me a couple of hours, and a lot of like back and forth, and I was able to basically just kind of fix something up so that now, the pipes at least work. And I'm like, what the hell? This is the power of being a man. Even if you don't know how to do something, you basically just figure it out and you fix it. Even that's it's the craziest thing about being a man. We find ways to do things. We're kind of built that way. One of the nice things, like for example, I have a background in computer science. I worked in IT starting at like 18, 17, 18. I was already working in IT. I spent many years working in IT. I spent many years studying computer science at a university level. I have a background in computer engineering. And I will tell you guys something, like I really don't think I fully embraced that aspect of myself until I got into PC gaming. And that's when I really started learning so much more. And it's amazing the things that I'm able to do now, and I'm able to fix like all of these tiny little different things and make all of these tiny little tweaks. And I think to myself, most women are not going to do these things. Now, don't get me wrong. I completely acknowledge that there are a lot of exceptional women out there. There are a lot of very capable women out there. But when it comes to technology, it's very much a man's forte. The average woman is not going to take the time to learn all of these very these very small and minute things when it comes to technology, when it comes to carpentry, when it comes to repair. There was a video I saw where this one woman was like, she's like, I did all of this work and I built all of this stuff in my home, and I'm going to make a video later talking about how I feel so rewarded doing this. But the reality is I'm going to sit and cry and moan because I wish I could have been in the kitchen making sandwiches while a man was doing this stuff. I wish I didn't waste all of my free time doing this stuff when I could have had a man do this stuff for me. But yay, feminism. That's why I keep saying, guys, women in the coming years, the global society is going to look at women in Western society and women in Western society and say, how did women in Western society end up in in the terrible condition that they currently are in? And because men are walking away from society, pulling their wealth and resources out of society and disappearing, and women honestly don't know what to do in this respect. And the next big step is, and you're seeing it happening now, is men taking their money out of the economy and using crypto. A lot of guys are even like married men are putting their money in crypto and making it difficult for their wives to get access to it when they divorce them.
You something. When the banks collapse, and trust me, it's coming, will you be ready? Imagine waking up to ATMs that don't work, bank doors chained shut, and millions of people left with nothing. No cash, no access to their savings, and no way to survive. But it doesn't have to be that way for you. That's why I created Angry's Crypto Academy to teach you everything you need to know about crypto so you can protect yourself and your family. You'll learn how to buy, sell, and even day trade crypto for a living. Plus, we alert you to new crypto trends so you can profit before everyone else even knows what's happening. Right now, I've just published an exclusive investment guide inside the Academy, and it's linked in the description below. In it, I reveal the one coin that could make you a millionaire. A coin so revolutionary, it could change everything. If you missed out on Bitcoin and Ethereum, this is your second chance. This isn't just about financial freedom, it's about survival. When the system collapses and everyone else is selling, you'll be the one buying, prepared to weather the storm and thrive while others struggle to survive. Don't wait. This knowledge isn't optional, it's critical. The link's in the description. Go check it out now.
Wanted the family dynamic of having a mom and a dad in one household. And when you're dropping your kids off, you actually visually see how that is no longer.
Being alone has been the most challenging part of my divorce. It's times like this when I feel and wish that my sister and I were still close and I could, pick up the phone and call her. But that's just not where we are right now.
Wasn't she the one who filed for divorce?
I mean, guys, this is the situation. Modern women pushed men out of society. They said that they don't want men, and now you have them crying on social media because they don't have men anymore. Men are no longer dating. Men are no longer getting into relationships. They don't understand. Guys, let me tell you something about health. I have gone through so many ups and downs with my own health. I have almost passed away many times in the last couple of years because of health. And still being a relatively young person, it doesn't matter. You can develop a health condition, and sometimes it can be genetic related. It can be a variety of different factors. I have a lot of issues. I inherited so much bad stuff from my parents. It's ridiculous, and as a result of that, I suffer in life. Women don't comprehend that, while they can enjoy their lives right now, and they're, in their teens and their 20s, and some are in early 30s, they don't comprehend how hard life is going to get when you get older. They don't understand illness. They don't understand, like, they don't understand things like things like I can't even say talk about health and conditions on the platform because you know how it is. They don't understand what's waiting for them when you are diagnosed with something and you're all alone and you don't have anyone to support you. All right, they don't understand what it's like to be completely alone, and you're in the middle of nowhere by yourself, and you don't know what the hell to do. People talk about traveling to other countries and living overseas, but they have no idea what they would do if you live in a place where it's literally you and no one else. You know no one else, and the people aren't that friendly. Okay, people women have no idea what the world actually is because men get between the real world and women, and now that's going to begin coming to an end. Since the simp economy is moving overseas, the simp economy is mostly online now, and that's why women are trying to go into society to find men in society, but even then they're shaming the men that are still there and expressing interest in them. Are you guys surprised that the massive bachelor's tax that targets single men has been that is coming now? And do you agree that it's going to be coming to other countries? The implications of this tax are all simply going to be that men are going to continue walking away from society, and this is only going to push men further out of society even faster. But let me know if you agree with that theory, with that hypothesis, and we'll talk about it in the comments. Like the video if you like it. Don't forget to subscribe, and if you like the video, share the video, and just remember that all roads lead to MWA, men walking away, and cheers.
Nothing says you care like crypto. Nothing can compare. Nothing says you care like crypto. Oh, nothing can compare to crypto.